So if you're just getting started with Sequence, one of the more common questions we get is, what is a pod? And that's a great question because unless you're an engineer or in the technical space, you probably haven't heard of the word pod in this personal finance space too often. And what a pod is simply a checking account that we can open up for our clients to utilize for any need that they want. And there's a bunch of different ways that our users are leveraging pods to improve their personal finances. And I want to show you a couple of them so that you can better understand it. Now, when it comes to personal finance for most people, what they end up doing is having 100% of their paycheck sent to their checking account that they use for everything. Their bill pay, their mortgage, their car payment, eating out, traveling, vacation, paying for the kids' stuff, everything. So all of your money is going into one pot and then you're just pulling it out as needed. Now, that can be fine, but it's certainly not the way to optimize. And it's an easy way to lose track of what you're really spending on the different parts of your life. So what we like to do is help people open up these pods and these sub accounts that allow us to literally name them for their specific purpose so that we can better assign money to each of our individual goals. And as you can see here with one of our users, they have a pretty typical account. It's a 2-income household. And each of these purple boxes represents a pot. Again, just a simple checking account that we're able to open up with just 2 clicks inside of Sequence through our partner bank, Thread Bank, based out of Nashville, fully FDIC insured. So as a result, now instead of all of your money, whether you're a single income household, a 2-income household, or even more, instead of all of that money trying to go to one singular bank account or you opening numerous bank accounts at your current bank and doing all the paperwork, what we can do is instantly do it online and now start to create all of the smart rules. So one of the more common ways that we see this play out is that we have people create an income holding account. So what does that mean? Well, again, it's just a checking account where they can route their joint income so that now it's not going directly into their primary checking account, the one that they have the debit card that they use all day, every day. Instead, it's a holding account that then we can disperse it, a portion to their checking account for their fund money, a portion to maybe some savings goals, a portion of paying off debt. Again, allowing us to not have one pot of money, but instead a number of different smaller pots that have a designated use that we want in order to accomplish our financial goals. So in this case that you're looking at right here, we have an income holding account. We also opened up one for taxes, so an extra tax withholding each month, because there's nothing worse than at the end of the year having to come up with an extra $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in taxes. This way it's out of sight, out of mind. And so it's an account that is storing money every single paycheck or every single month that can then be sent to the IRS so that you don't have to try to budget for that out of your individual checking account that you're used to using every day. So in this situation, they have all the money going to the income holding account. Then they have it set up so that money is going to their high yield emergency fund, a great way to use it. And in this case, I think there was a top up rule, and we cover the top up rule in this video here if you want to take a look. It's an amazing resource to have when it comes to trying to fulfill goals, especially your emergency fund. Next, they have an account for their fixed expenses. So again, this is a great tactic when it comes to budgeting more effectively. Consolidate all of your monthly fixed expenses, whether that's subscriptions, transportation, your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, your insurances. If you subsidize those into a single account, now all of a sudden we know how much money is going to be spent out of that account every month. And instead of all of the money pooling into our central checking account, now we have a designated account that money is spent out of so that we don't ever touch it. The rest of the money goes to their spend account. So in this case, they're setting aside a certain amount of money either per paycheck or per month that is going into that spend account, which is where they can buy the pizza, go shopping, do the night out, those types of pieces. So that's what they are able to budget on as opposed to seeing all of their money in one single account. Next, in this case, they opened up a pod for 529 plans. So this is, again, we can start to siphon money off to the 529 plans to then send it to the investment institute. In this case, they also wanted to buy a mountain house. So this is an account where they're saving money for a down payment. So every single month, a certain amount of money is going into that account to slowly trickle up. Because again, imagine if you're trying to save for a mountain house inside of your giant pot of money, you don't know what money is actually allocated towards that goal. This way, with just 2 clicks, we're able to open up a new checking account, title it exactly for its purpose, and create a rule to send a specific amount of money to that account every single time we get paid. Next is vacation savings. And this is a big one for people because most people will take a vacation, but it's so hard to budget around. Because if all of a sudden you take a $5,000 vacation, but you pay for it in 1 month, it's really difficult to mentally account for that money over the course of a year. year. But if you know you spend $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, or maybe even $20,000 or more on vacations each year, well, now we can set up a designated account with 2 clicks, call it vacation savings, and send 1/12 of the amount of money that we spend each year into that account. So when the time comes to either put a deposit or buy the tickets, we have money set aside specifically for that goal. And again, you might go over, so you might need to pull from another account, but it's so much easier to help budget when you have specific accounts with specific names for specific goals. Again, this is tied to the idea of giving every dollar a purpose, which some people aren't great at, but it gets a lot easier by utilizing the PODS, which again are just checking accounts that we can create in 2 clicks to help you really start to understand your finances and accomplish your financial goals. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you want to learn more, make sure to take a look at the next video.